So, I just finished my character tier list, so let's do the weapons. Now, this one isn't going to have much thought. This is just, do I use it? Maybe? Sometimes. Not really. Preferably not to, and no, not ever. Obviously, wording is different, but, yeah, let's do the damn thing. I don't want to really think about this as much as I did the characters. The characters is, I feel like, the most important because people main characters. You can't really main a weapon in battle royales because you just gotta hope you get it. I mean, I've tried using the Nemesis in their games where I don't even see it. But yeah, so this is just the order this came in. I didn't care enough to reorganize it because there's really no way to organize it. It's already organized by ammo type, so that's fine. Havoc. So the ways, swap anything for in ranked. This is S tier because if I use it in ranked, that means I think it's the best weapon that won't hinder me and my team if I use it. And this is going to be partially my skill plus how useful I think the weapon is. Like, obviously, I might put P20 in I use it off drop for fun because I may get a hammer point with it. Do I think it's a good gun? No. With hammer point, yes, maybe it'll be fun. Use it when I get it means, like, R3 would go swap anything for in rank because it's the best assault rifle. Flatline would go and use it when I get it because when I get it, I don't mind using it because, you know, that's what was available. But I would probably not drop it, or I'd probably not drop an R3 for it in ranked. Use it off drop for fun. That would be like my 30-30 or the Rampage. They're decent weapons, and I might use them off drop just because that's the first thing I found in pubs, and I don't feel like switching off because there's really no reason to. And so I'm just using them only because that's what I saw first, and I'm willing to use it. Dropped first chance I get means, obviously, P20. I'm going to drop that the first chance I get. Might not even use it off drop means I may not even... Like, if I find P20 Mastiff, there may not even be a reason for me to pick up the P20. So I might just run Mastiff, try and get a kill, and try and get their gun. And then no, you not ever means I would never, ever, 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 ever pick up that gun and use it. Which I honestly don't know if anything's going to go in there. As of right now, I don't think anything would go in here. There's no crypto of the guns, so I really don't think anything's going to go there. Havoc, I'll use it off drop for fun. I'm not a huge fan of the Havoc anymore. I feel like the charge up time really makes it less useful. And even with the turbocharger, I feel like its recoil is just too crazy. It's not even fun to use sometimes. So use it off drop for fun, because if I find it off drop, sure, I might use it, but probably gonna die with it. I'm not gonna have anything not gonna have any crazy game with it. Nemesis, just because it's good. I'm not good with it yet. I would probably swap things for it in ranked, besides an R3, just because if everyone else is using a Nemesis, I need to try and use it, because that thing's pretty broken right now. Vault, because it's in crafting, use it when I get it. If I really want a vault, like let's say I have Digi-Threat, Purple Mag, and a ton of energy ammo, I will probably craft a vault. But I'm not going to swap it for anything because picking up a car in R9 is going to be so much easier to use. Just because of how available they are, you don't have to craft them. But vault, and I want this to not be based on seasons alone. It's going to be based on season 16 stats and whatnot. But I really don't want it to be like, well, you know, Ari's in the care package, so yeah, I'll pick it up more. Hemlock's in the care package, so I'll pick it up not as much because I don't want to go out of my way to get a Hemlock, but this is going to be based off the weapon in general. So like RE45, I'm not going to say Disruptor rounds RE45, I'm going to do RE45 in general. The care package version of it being a little bit more of an advantage. I don't know, something like that. But Vault, like, I'm going to pick it up. But just because I'd have to craft it, I'm probably not going to swap my car or R9 that can be much easily acquired in ranked. But outside of that, then obviously I would probably swap it for pretty much anything besides an R9. Devotion. Devotion is dropped first chance I get. I don't like the Devotion. I feel like its recoil is super weird. Its charge up is super weird. The skins I have are pretty cool. It's just kind of hard to use. Like, it's just... ugh. Like, if I'll use it when I get it off drop to fight, because it's a spray weapon and I might get lucky just because it shoots so fast, but other than that, it's pretty bad. L-Star, I will use the L-Star off drop because even though you only have 20 bullets from a chest, you can probably still get a decent spray and almost kill someone. It's not that hard to track, it's just so much harder than any other weapon that people could get. Triple take, honestly, the triple take, I have not been liking. I'm gonna say dropped first chance I get. Its hip fire doesn't feel as great as it used to. It used to be the best shotgun in the game, and now I feel like it's not. I hate the iron sights. It's so hard to see when you've got 3 little things to try and base off of. But with that being said, the charge up is also pretty good, but I will probably drop it first chance I get. I can't remember the last. I think I've had 1 game this entire season where I actually used it outside of, you know, the first 50-50 we took. Flatline, like I said, use it when I get it. Probably above the vault. The only problem is I think it's recoil and spray pattern and whatnot is the only thing that will make me not want to use it in ranked over other things, because it is pretty detrimental when you're firing it decently long range, and my flatline aim is just not what it used to, and same with my R3, so that kind of sucks. I think it's use it when I get it. Car, I've been using the car a lot in ranked, but personally, I kind of suck with it. I do not do well with the iron sights. My hip fire with it isn't as great, but yeah, I think I just need to play with the car more again and get used to it. My R9 is still pretty lethal. I've been really getting in the habit of the like jumping and hip firing to then also like scoping in. I've had some pretty nasty aimbot looking sprays with my R9. The car, not so much. Prowler, I've only used it off drop once, so I'll actually say dropped first chance I get, but the highest. Like I've never been good with the Prowler. I'm off and on. I was good with it when it had the full auto thing, when it changed the fire thing, and the Havoc had the same hop up. But recently, there's just no point in using it over the car, alternator, or R9. And I love the alternator too now. So I'd probably have to say it's the highest and drop first chance I get, because I'm not good with it. It's the same as the triple take, so I think I'll actually move the triple take up above the, actually no, the triple take goes below. Because the spray weapons are going to be much more effective than a triple takes, and so I'll use them over that. But I definitely, there's no games where I'm like, oh yeah, I'll use a Prowler over a purple mag car, purple mag 30-30, stuff like that. Rampage, I'll use it off drop for fun more than the Havoc. I love the Rampage if you can hit your shots, but it's not as an effective gun. Actually, maybe it should be in use it when I get it. I think I'm going to put it in use it when I get it, because I do kind of use it sometimes. I don't swap for it in ranked, but I do use it sometimes. I use it more than just off drop for fun, because I do think it's an effective gun. Same with 30-30. They're just not better than these 3. That's the only thing. I would use them more than the Havoc because their fire rate is much more consistent than charging up and hoping you can do well. I do like both. I'm pretty good with the 30-30. I'm not going to lie. I can use it almost as effective as a wingman, even in close range. But obviously, in ranked, it's not going to be the best choice. I know some people use it. I might actually use it over the Rampage, but not over these 3. So I think it will go there. R3 is probably the best gun. I will always try and use an R3 in ranked. It's the best AR. It always has been, always will be. Maybe the Nemesis will beat it out, but I think they're going to nerf the Nemesis a little bit. Alternator, I won't swap for in ranked, but I will say I do use it when I get it sometimes as secondary. If I'm not doing hot with the R9 in car, I will swap for an alternator, just for better iron sight spray, like scoping in and spraying. Obviously, the hip fire on it's not my favorite. R9, I will swap for the R9. Probably over the Nemesis, just because I'm not consistent with it yet. R9, I am still consistent with. I love the R9. I used to always use the R9 as my primary. Recently, obviously, I've gotten good with the R3. I mean, recently as in, like, probably the last year and a half, maybe even 2 years. But R9 is just probably... R9's always been my favorite SMG. I hated when the Volt was better than it because it just did not feel like it took as much skill as the R9. But yeah, R9 will always be my baby, my go-to SMG. So it will be up there, but R3 is obviously, you want to have a long-range weapon in ranked. P20, I know I said I'll use it off drop for fun, but I really hate getting the P20. I might even pick it up. Hammer points is the only reason it's no you, not ever. It's not in no you, not ever, because hammer points on a P20 isn't bad if you can get a crack. Like I would run R3 Mozam P20 hammer point, because I would use the R3 to get an easy 100 beam crack, and then hammer point secondary. Spitfire is dropped first chance I get above the rest. Prowler is probably better, even though I'm not good with it. Spitfire, I mean, it's a full auto weapon. It's not bad. I don't use it for fun anymore. But yeah, so I will use it, or I will drop it the first chance I get. But if I get it off spawn, I will use it until obviously something better. G7 Scout. G7, I will actually swap a few things for it in ranked. And that's, I mean, I'm bad with it because I haven't gotten used to it again. I will swap for it just because it's a good long range option. And I know it's pretty effective in ranked. Kraber, again, contrary to popular belief, I don't always pick up a Kraber. Sometimes I'm genuinely like these are the weapons that I might keep over. Like I would actually, there are times where I'm like, you know what, I'm not picking up a Kraber. So one of you guys can take it. I'm keeping my R3 shotgun. I'm keeping my R3 SMG. I just don't want to stick myself with either a non-sniper long range or no close range. So I honestly don't pick up the Kraber that much. It's kind of bad because I'm not good with it then, but at the same time, I would rather secure a win with one of my teammates having it, and I have my effective guns like I said, Peacekeeper R3. And the reason why it's below these two is because these 6 guns are the guns I would not drop a Kraber for. But if I had these as my other guns, I'd be like, okay, you know, maybe I can do something with it. Bow check, use it for fun. And I know you can't get a bow check off drop, but I will use it for fun. Like, it's not bad now. I use it in the Valentine's Day game mode. Almost dropped to 4K with it. Pretty crazy. Decently fun. I kind of wish it was back to floor loot. But yeah, I would use it. If I could get it off drop, I would use it for fun. Hemlock, I would actually swap for in ranked. Like if it was floor loot, because I don't think the Hemlock's broken in the care package. I think that's the only way they could essentially nerf it without actually ruining the gun. So the Hemlock will go up there because I do love the Hemlock, and I would put it above I'd put it above the Nemesis actually. When it was floor loot, I love the Hemlock. I feel like I can do well with it. It's pretty easy to control. RE45. I would use the RE45 over the car, flatline over the car, disruptor rounds RE45 over the flatline. But honestly, if I couldn't find an R9 or a Vault or a car, an RE45 would be effective sidearm. I love the RE45. I could control it pretty well at close range. I even have a video where I called it the Pocket R9. I think I used 2 of them, and I got a pretty high kill win, pretty decent win. I've always loved the RE45. I think if it was on the ground with disruptor rounds, it'd be pretty good. Hammer points, it'd be phenomenal. I think it's just actually a really good pistol. Like, it's the only, besides the Wingman, obviously, it's the only pistol that is genuinely good. So the RE45 is something I really love, and I've always loved it. Wingman. I will use the Wingman when I get it. Probably recently not over the car, because I need to get better with the car, and I'm not too good with the Wingman. But the Wingman, I feel like I've always been inconsistent with. Charge rifle. I would actually, recently, I've been picking up the charge rifle more. I would use it in rank. Very bottom, because I feel like outside of pestering people from far away, I can't really use it. I do like when people stand still and you can get like a 90 damage shot off. It's pretty good. I need to get used to the hip fire with it again, because I used to be really good with the hip fire. Actually, use it when I get it. I'd probably use it over these guns when I get it. I'd actually probably drop a Wingman for a Kraber. But I think I'd use the charge rifle. I think the charge rifle is good. I wouldn't really swap for it. I think that was a little too hasty. Longbow, I haven't used the longbow in forever. I also haven't, it's in the crafting. I'm stupid. I haven't seen it. I haven't gotten to use it. Even when it was floor loot last season, I didn't get to use it in the last week or 2 we played. But I love it. I have always loved it, so I will use it for fun. I'd use it probably over these 2 because it's more effective than the Havoc, and it's more obtainable than the bow check, and probably more consistent. Sentinel, use it when I get it. I'd probably use it over these 2 because I'd carry more shots than the Kraber, and I feel like it's much easier to hip fire than charge rifle, so it would be up here. I love Sentinel. 6 times on a Sentinel, pretty nutty, and I do love using that. Eva 8. Eva 8, I will use it. I would probably drop an Eva for a Kraber, but an Eva is still a very effective shotgun for me. Mastiff, I'll use it off drop, not for fun, but because I just feel like using it. I would use a Mastiff longer than a Havoc. And I would honestly sometimes not drop it just to use it. It's not horrible. Mozam, bottom of use it when I get it, because I'd only use it if I had hammer points. Other than that, it's going to be at the bottom, but hammer points is what makes it not as bad. It also doesn't do bad shots. It's much more consistent than the Mastiff, though. Peacekeeper, I will drop any of these two guns. You know what? Actually, no. I wouldn't drop a Hemlock over it. I know these are primaries, but I probably drop pretty much anything for the PK. But I'm more consistent with it than I am the Nemesis and G7, so it would go there. Honestly, I'm surprised I didn't put anything in no EU, not ever, but honestly, there is no crypto of the guns, so I have nothing to put there. I would use an L-Star P20 off drop if I had to. Devotion, like, they're bad guns, but if I had to, I could probably use them effectively. And I think that just comes from playing the game as much as I have. I mean, I don't think anyone really likes... I think, if anything, people are surprised I put stuff higher. But yeah, I didn't put any of the good stuff low, and these are just here because I'm not as good with them, so it's just not something I would particularly put. And honestly, these two tiers could be like S-. Like, some of these I wouldn't put in an S tier, but these don't mean that they're better than these. Like, these guns are probably also S tier. Well, honestly, everything but the 30-30 Rampage and Mozam, these are probably all S tier. Maybe not the Charge Rifle, but the thing is, if I'm going to swap for it in rank, that means I'm good with it, and it's a good gun. So it has to be high for me. Yeah, that's the weapon tier list. Obviously, comments are open for discussion. Since, obviously, I play the game a lot, I know what I'm talking about, so it's not like you can give me tips or pointers. Not really looking for that. I just want to see everyone else's opinion. Do you agree, disagree? Probably agree. Probably disagree on things being higher than they are for you. But other than that, I feel like this is probably the most... this is going to be the Apex tier list that you can't really argue against. Like, this is just mostly the guns that are effective in one way or another, and then just the ones that aren't as good. But yeah, so thanks for watching. I posted the character one, but yeah, so that's everything. Thanks for watching. Peace.